The stars above the outpost shimmered like frost on black glass, silent witnesses to a galaxy at war. We were stationed on Aiartstory 9, a barren moon orbiting a dying red star. I was supposed to be there for diplomacy, but diplomacy had turned into blood, betrayal, and uneasy alliances. And that's how I met Commander Lyra Kale, the alien woman whose smile would change everything. Beginning the tension before dawn. When the Voran Confederacy fell, Earth signed a fragile treaty with the Qatari, a reptilian humanoid species whose sharp fangs and colder eyes made most humans uneasy. I was part of the Earth liaison team, the only human trusted enough to live inside a Qatari military base. At least that's what the papers said. In truth, I was there because of a mistake I made 6 months ago. I fired on a Qatari ship, thinking it was an ambush. It wasn't. The ship had been carrying medical aid. The Qatari lost 12 of their own that day. Now I was serving my reconciliation posting, helping rebuild what I'd helped destroy. And Lyra Kale, the one who commanded that ship, was my superior officer. She was taller than me, her skin a pale iridescent blue that shimmered in light. Her eyes were silver pools that reflected everything and revealed nothing. Every time we crossed paths in the corridors of the outpost, she acknowledged me with a nod. Never hostility, but never warmth either. Until one night everything changed. The incident in the hangar. It was the 4th rotation after the meteor storms. I was working on calibrating communication relays in the hangar when a plasma conduit malfunctioned, spewing molten sparks across the deck. "Get down!" shouted. Lyra was inspecting a nearby shuttle. The explosion rocked the hangar. She dove aside, but part of the bulkhead collapsed behind her. I rushed forward through the smoke, ignoring the alarms. "Commander!" I reached her, trapped under the debris, her breathing labored but alive. The metallic frame had pinned her arm. Without thinking, I used my bare hands and a crowbar to pry it off. My palms tore open from the heat, but I didn't stop until she was free. When the medics arrived, they took her away in silence. I collapsed beside the wreckage, my hands shaking, skin blistered. Later that night, I expected a disciplinary summons. Humans weren't supposed to interfere with Qatari rescue protocols. But instead I got a message. "Report to the commander's quarters." Immediately. Thought she was furious. I thought she would demand answers, strip me of rank, maybe even have me sent back to Earth. But when I walked in, she wasn't angry. The smile that disarmed me. Her quarters were dim, lit only by the soft blue glow of her world's twin moons through the viewport. She sat there, one arm bandaged, sipping a pale liquid from a crystal cup. "You disobeyed 3 safety codes," she said evenly. "Yes, Commander," I answered. "You risked injury. Possible death." "Yes, Commander." Silence hung between us. The air recycler hummed softly in the background. I couldn't look her in the eye. Then I heard it, a faint melodic sound. Chuckle. "Why do humans do this?" she asked suddenly. "Why risk so much for one life?" I looked up. "Because one life matters." Her silver eyes met mine. For a heartbeat, I thought I saw something soften there. Then slowly she smiled. Not mockery, not disbelief, just understanding. "That is the first time anyone has ever said that to me without calculation," she murmured. Her tone wasn't the cold authority I was used to. It was quiet, thoughtful. "I thought you'd be angry," I admitted. "Angry?" She tilted her head. "No. You reminded me what honor feels like." For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Outside, lightning streaked across the horizon of Aiartstory 9, bathing her features in light. I saw then not the warrior, not the alien, but a being carrying more pain than pride. That night changed everything. The war returns. Weeks passed. Our missions grew riskier. Earth's council broke communications. Rumors of a rogue Qatari faction spread. They wanted to end the alliance and start exterminating humans in the outer colonies. Lyra and I worked side by side, uncovering sabotage within our own ranks. Some Qatari officers still despised humans. I could feel their stares whenever I passed. But Lyra stood by me. Every time they questioned my presence, she said the same thing. He saved my life. That is reason enough. Our bond grew stronger, built on duty, but tempered by something deeper neither of us dared name. Then came the attack on Outpost Zenith, the largest Qatari Earth base in the quadrant. A massive fleet emerged from the void, the Qatari reclaimers, radicals who viewed peace as betrayal. Their leader, General Savek, once trained Lyra himself. We had minutes before the shields fell. The station trembled as plasma shells hammered the hull. I could feel fear creeping through every deck. Lyra turned to me. "You'll lead the evacuation. What about you?" "I will hold them off." I stepped closer. "Lyra, if you go out there, you won't come back." Her expression didn't waver. "Perhaps. But if I don't, no one will." Something inside me snapped. "Then I'm staying too." Her eyes softened, that same faint smile again. "Always breaking rules, aren't you, human?" I grinned despite the chaos. "You started it." The final battle. We fought side by side in the corridor of the main reactor core. Plasma bolts lighting up the steel walls like storms of fire. The enemy poured through breach after breach. Lyra moved like lightning, her twin blades humming with violet energy. I fired my rifle until it overheated, shielding her flank. When Savek himself arrived, the air seemed to bend around him. Towering, armored. His voice filled the chamber like thunder. "Lyra Kale," he boomed. "You betray your people for this creature." Lyra raised her blades. "I fight for what's right. For peace." "Peace," Vic snarled. "There is no peace with parasites." Before he could strike, I charged, firing at his armor to draw his attention. He turned toward me, roaring. In that instant, Lyra leapt, driving her blade into his chest. A blinding flash filled the reactor hall. When the smoke cleared, Savek was gone. The rebellion fleet, leaderless, scattered into retreat. I slumped against the wall, bleeding from a shoulder wound. Lyra knelt beside me, placing her hand gently on my chest. "You're safe," she said softly. I managed a pained laugh. "I thought you'd be angry." She smiled again, that same smile that had haunted me since the first night. "No. You just proved why I chose to fight beside you." Ending, the smile that changed everything. The war ended months later. Earth and Qatari signed a true alliance, one written not by politicians, but by survivors. When they asked me to return to Earth, I refused. My home wasn't there anymore. It was here, among the stars, among those who had learned to see humanity differently. Lyra was promoted to High Commander of the Joint Fleet. She still refused to wear the ceremonial crest. One evening, we stood together overlooking the twin moons from the station's glass dome. The stars shimmered brighter now, no longer veiled by the smoke of war. "You know," I said quietly, "I never thanked you properly." "For what?" she asked. "For not killing me the first time we met."